Ayo, ayo, ayo! How we doing, everybody? Welcome into the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel. Thank you for hanging out with me, my friends. I appreciate you a ton. We're gonna be talking a little horror tonight, a little Scream 7. We got maybe a trailer on the horizon. We definitely have a trailer on the horizon for Ready or Not 2 that I'm sure we'll be getting into, and we might just be going into production for TERRIFIER 4 very soon here. Lots of exciting stuff going on the horizon here, and I'm excited to talk about all of it. Also, I put Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Actually, hang on, before I even get into that whole spiel. If you're watching this on replay, please like this stream and subscribe to the page. It would greatly help us a ton. We just hit 38,100 subscribers. I would like to hit 40K sometime soon. We're on the way. Can we make it happen? I don't know. A few things I want to talk with you guys about first, and then I'll say hi to all the wonderful folks who are joining us. Some fun stuff this week. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 comes out on Thursday. I get to see it a little early, and I'll have an early review of it. Let's crack this bad boy open. Oh, that sound is just so satisfying. Listen, it's late at night, and I've been working on a big deep dive all day, so energy drinks galore. It's gonna be one of those crazy streams where we're just talking about some crazy shit and I'm foaming at the mouth like I'm rabid the whole time. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But Five Nights at Freddy's 2, I'm excited to see it early. I'll have an early review out at some point in the next couple of days. I get to see it tomorrow night, so sometime, hopefully Thursday, I'm able to put it out before any early screenings. Spoiler-free review, of course. I won't spoil anything before it actually comes out. Where's the fun in that? So really excited to talk a little bit about that. I think it's gonna be a better movie than the first one. I have some slightly higher hopes for it. I got to read some interviews from the people working on it who have taken the criticism and have tried to apply it to the sequel to make this something stronger of a film, and that bodes well. So I have some faith in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and I really hope it's good. But anyways, a lot of updates coming this week, a lot of exciting stuff happening. It's just back to back to back. It's gonna be busy. And on top of all of this, I have two other things I want to talk about just real quick. I have a big video coming out at the end of the week. It is a video talking about Talk to Me and Bring Her Back, the two films from the Filippo brothers, and how they're in the same universe, not only connected by some legitimate things, but also connected by themes. It's a really fun video. It's going over on the Jakey Retro Deep Dive page. It's a big ol' nasty stinker, and it's gonna be a fun video, so definitely give it a watch later on this week. Also, Jess, who I believe is in the chat with us, my friend Jess, who plays video games with us over on our gaming channel, GullGotha. I'm finally doing something for her tonight. She's sick. She's had a very rough week. So we're doing something kind for her. We're playing a game that she's been heavily requesting over on the gaming channel for some time now. It's a game called Amenti. You play as a photographer who is trapped in a pyramid with some evil mummies, and we're gonna be playing it tonight over on the gaming channel later on at 9 p.m. Eastern time, which is approximately a little under 2 hours from right now. And I'm really excited to get into that, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be very fun. Jess, I hope to see, if nobody else, at least hopefully you can make it to that if you're not feeling too sick. But I hope that this would maybe make you feel better. is what I was hoping for. But anyways, let's get to our chat. Let's see what we're doing out there, how we're doing out there, ladies and gentlemen. I want to hear what you're excited about. So many things happening this week. I don't even know where to start. But oh boy, am I excited with it all. Let's get to it. Michael Parton has thrown $5 out there already. Thank you so much for the support, Michael. Saying, I have always loathed the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, but I am hoping the remake will be so much better. You're not a fan of it? Let me know why. I'm curious. I'm curious why you don't like it. You don't like Santa running around going, punish, the whole time and axing people? Is that why you're not I'm just curious. I'm curious what your take is on it. I'll be honest, I think the only Silent Night, Deadly Night film I actually think is good is the original. I don't know about the other ones. They're very strange. I have not seen all of the sequels. I know about them. Have not watched all of them. I've seen the second one, and it's garbage day. That's the one thing that's great about that movie, and that's it. You've probably seen the memes. You've probably seen the memes, and that's all you need to see, really. But Silent Night, Deadly Night, I'm really excited about this new one. It's coming from a director who I have a lot of faith in, Mike P. Nelson. He's made some really good stuff. The criminally underrated Wrong Turn remake, which I still will herald as one of my favorite films from this decade. I think it's fantastic and crazy slept on. Honestly, the movie that I would say is the most slept on movie from this entire decade so far. But Silent Night, Deadly Night, totally, I think it's gonna rock. I have a lot of faith in it. It's got Rowan Campbell in it in the lead role. I think he's a great casting decision. to play Billy. So I don't know, man. I've got a lot of faith. I think this is gonna be awesome. Mike has also made a lot of other cool short films too. He did a segment for VHS 85, I think one of the better segments in that whole little anthology flick, as well as the Sweet Revenge short film with Jason Voorhees. And yes, it's just an apple cider commercial, but it's Jason Voorhees killing people again. I can't complain too much. I really can't. But Michael, I'm curious what your take is on the original film that makes you loathe it, because that's a stronger word than hate, in my opinion. Like, if you loathe something, that's worse than hate. But I'm curious. Let me know down in the chat there, Michael. Thank you for the 5. I appreciate it. And I hope you like this new one a little more, at least a little more. You know. Whew. Those are sweet, baby. God damn. Erica's hanging out with us as well. Thank you for modding tonight, Erica, and thank you for being a channel member. I greatly appreciate you. Joe Bamba needs a Chuck E. Cheese cameo in Five Nights at Freddy's. That would be the ultimate crossover. I need that to happen. I need a Willy's Wonderland crossover with Five Nights at Freddy's now. That would be great. That's still my favorite animatronic horror film, Willy's Wonderland. So much so that I even bought a shirt from the damn film. So, I mean, come on now. Love me some Willy's Wonderland. Collarbone YouTube is saying Terrifier 4 news. Yeah, kinda. Kinda, yes. I posted a video about this on Monday, but a few things from that. It seems undeniable now that Rhea Ripley is 100% in this film. There's no way she's not. The director has even made hint of it now. Rhea Ripley came into, what was it called? Like WWE War Games or something like that, whatever the new event was this past weekend, wearing an Art the Clown mask and an Art the Clown themed costume. I'm just like, dude, there is no way in hell she is not in this movie in some way, shape, or form, potentially being killed by the manic clown. And I love that. That makes me really happy. So I'm excited about that. Loving to see all the little wrestling cameos in this franchise continue, and also, you know, go beyond just Chris Jericho. But on top of that, we've also seen the director change his Twitter bio to Terrifier 4 currently in pre-production, meaning that a script is probably done and they're working out the logistics of actually shooting this thing and making it happen. So lots of exciting stuff there. And I'm digging it. I'm loving all that news. Some great stuff right there. So Collarbone YouTube, stay tuned, because I think we'll have some production, like some actual production updates on Terrifier 4 come next year. So not too far away now. We're less than a month to next year already. So it's exciting times. Isaac Barmore is saying, when's the new Scream 7 trailer coming out? Potentially Thursday, same day as the release of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So it's going to be pandemonium on this page. I don't know how I'm going to get everything done. We're going to have a lot of videos go up in the next 72 hours. But I am, I got a lot of these. Thankfully, I have more than one of these, and I will be drinking a lot of them. So it's going to be very fun. It's going to be a very fun time. Talking Star Wars is also with us. Hello, gang. How we doing? Chillin', killin', Dylan. Formerly villain killin' Dylan is now chillin', saying Jack Frost is so underrated. The best Christmas slasher. Jack Frost, man. What a film. You know, I think that movie is hilarious. I love it to death. It's an outrageous one, that's for sure. We have Thomas Isaacs saying, I'm excited for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 to drop soon. Oh yeah, definitely excited for that one. I'm hoping that and the other thing too is about that movie, we have Matthew Lillard, we have Skeet Ulrich in a film together again, kind of playing off of each other also. Like to what I know about the characters that they're playing, they are working in tandem sort of, and I think that's really exciting. So I'm hyped to see what their relationship is going to be like, if it's anything like their Scream Killers, or maybe it's something totally different. So I'm excited. I'm not super familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's lore, but what I've looked up about their characters is that they've worked together before in the past, and that's exciting to me. So Ghostface Killer is excited for Scream 7, which is around the corner. What up, y'all? Oh, I'm excited. We're just a couple months out from that one, which is really exciting. We should be getting a new trailer hopefully this week to talk about some brand new footage. And I think once we get into like January, the marketing's going to really go off. That's my prediction. We're going to come January, I think it's going to be like every week there's a new poster, there's a new marketing stunt. Hopefully, if they follow in the same footsteps of how they marketed Screams 5 and 6, which led to success. So do the same thing. Fingers crossed. Hopefully they're not just resting on their laurels. They're like, well, it's Scream, it'll make money. No, don't do that. Market the hell out of this thing, make it happen. So far, things are going good for Scream 7's marketing. to my knowledge, the Scream 7 trailer is doing better views-wise than both Screams 5 and 6. So just keep it up, just keep it up, and we should have another successful entry in this horror franchise here. It's an interesting thing, though. It's an interesting thing. I really hope it does well. Davey Deathray, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for being a channel member. Saying, hey, everyone, hope y'all are having a great week so far. I am, but my God, the snow just won't stop coming down. Every morning I've been down there helping my fiance get snow off of her car so she can make it to work safely. And it's chaos, so be careful driving if you're in an area like where I live, where it's snowing all the time. So be careful out there, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'll say. Be careful driving. And yes, Collarbone YouTube, this is a really good point as well. Earlier in the year, Rhea Ripley was at a Ice Nine Kills concert, and we had, what was it? Art the Clown come up behind her and pretend to hack off her head or something. So, yeah, I mean, dude, nobody, and I mean nobody is lobbying harder to be in Terrifier 4 than Rhea Ripley. And I was lobbying pretty hard for a while there, dude. I was really trying. Isaac Barmore is saying supposedly Mia Goth has been cast as a new villain in the new Now You See Me film. Ooh, okay. The film script is done and production is underway. The film has a working title of Now You See Me, Now Watch This. They're making there's a fourth one? Wait, there's a fourth one? I mean, the third one was like, oh, I guess, but they're gonna do 4? That's crazy. That's such a weird franchise. I never thought that would become a big thing, but here we are. Mastermind Killer is hanging out with us. What's up, Paul? How we doing? Welcome in, welcome in. King Matthew III is not that hyped for Terrifier 4 because I'm not the biggest fan of the franchise. I did enjoy Terrifier 2, but 3 kind of fell flat a little to me. Oh, that's no fun. I'm still on the fence on which one I like more. I think there are things about Terrifier 3 that are better than 2, and I think that there are things about 2 that are better than 3. So I'm really on the fence about that, but I personally love both. I think both of them were fantastic. Certainly better than the first Terrifier, I think for sure. I know I've heard some people who disagree with that. Some people like the simplicity of the original Terrifier, but in terms of character work, that's what elevates both 2 and 3 to me. I actually care about the characters on screen. I really did not care about the characters in the original Terrifier. So you not only have that great performance from David, like how you do in the original, but also, there's other good stuff going on outside of just that. So that's a big thing for me when it comes to when it comes to the Terrifier movies. I love how the sequels are able to evolve and strengthen character relationships, as well as also have a great killer running around ripping people to shreds. So the sequels have just gotten better and better, in my opinion. Not too many franchises, I think, that I could even say are even remotely like that too, where I feel like they've improved upon the concept with each film, arguably. Loaded is a beast X saying Stu was hiding for 30 years. That's been the theory, baby. There's a chance. There really is a chance that could be what's going on here. So who knows? Stu Macher, has he been hiding in a basement for 30 years? I said this before, and I'll just say it again. If they bring Stu back, I would love to see him as just like a golem who doesn't even speak anymore. He's just been living in a basement, being kept alive, and he's just a monster that's being worshipped by a bunch of new Ghostface killers. That's so weird and gross to me, and I love weird and gross, baby. So I'm totally down for that. Davey Deathray is hitting on one of the most interesting stories of the week, which I have not had time to cover, but I will talk about it here. Sam Raimi and Jordan Peele are producing a full-length version of the short film Portrait of God. That could be badass. Guys, if you have not seen this short, it's phenomenal. I went and watched it yesterday when this news broke that these two, well, first of all, Sam Raimi and Jordan Peele, two just masters of their craft, two masters of horror, in my humble opinion, coming together to work on something together. That's nuts to me. I mean, that's anytime you have the merging of two masters, it's crazy to me. So that's really exciting update to begin with. But then it's about a really good short film and turning it into a feature. This is a phenomenal short, a very, it feels like other things, but the concept alone, I think, is just so unique and original. This is a short film that I feel like it doesn't necessarily have jump scares, but it has a creepy imagery that could remind you of something and I hate to say this, but it almost has Blumhouse imagery, but done in a very art house way. It's an interesting marriage of both those things, where it's very thought-provoking concept, but it does have some Blender looking effects, which is stuff that you typically see in your Blumhouse movies, your Conjuring flicks nowadays, especially, right? So personally, that's not a diss in my. I think some people will look at it as a diss. I love it. I love the way the short looks, and I'm excited to see these filmmakers tackle a feature-length version of that. How are they going to turn that into a feature? It's kind of such a perfect short. I don't know how they're going to turn into a feature-length version of that. But I'm open-minded to it. I'm excited to see what it's all about. It seems like it's got a lot of commentary on religion as well. It's called Portrait of God. I mean, you can pretty much figure that out from that, right? But it seems like it's going to be a really interesting flick coming up here, and I can't wait to see how Sam Raimi and Jordan Peele's influence play into it as well. So just a really interesting combination of flavors there. Two totally different worlds of horror kind of coming together on this one. So I'm loving that, Davey. That's a huge update from this week that I hope doesn't fly under the radar. That's a movie I'm highly anticipating. That ought to be something good. Perry Moberg also with us. Perry, thank you so much for being a channel member. Scream 7 is gonna make bank. It absolutely is. I'm not too worried about that at all, but I do want to see the marketing campaign start to get moving. This is the time to do it. So if we do have a brand new trailer come out this week, perfect timing. Couldn't have been better. You don't want to release all your stuff too early either. Like if they had just gone nuts with it in November, I might be worried. Like, well, what happens when we get to a couple weeks prior? Are you still going to be doing stuff? What's up? There's only so much money in the marketing budget for movies, right? So I think this is about the time where we start going nuts with it. Eyes are on the media. Eyes are on screens right now. It's cold outside. Nobody wants to be outside. I want to be inside watching stuff, hanging out in the warm. I want to be in the warmth, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Erica's throwing 2 out there saying 10 of you haven't hit the like button. Go do it, Erica. Thank you for the 2. And please stop biting off fingers, okay? It is becoming a little bit of a problem. We've had a lot of complaints in the last couple of streams that, people who have forgotten to like the stream are now missing some digits. So be a little kinder to people in the chat, Erica, okay? They're getting to it. They're getting to liking the stream. Jeez. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. Erica, thank you for the 2. And guys, make sure to like the stream. If you like keeping your fingers and even your toes. I'm just saying. So, when Erica gets hungry, she does not get picky. But I appreciate the 2, Erica. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to catch up in the chat because I'm a little behind. Faith Dorn is hanging out with us saying, hey, Jake, Erica, and chat. Hope everybody is having a great Tuesday night. It's a wonderful Tuesday. I love it. It's a Ruby Tuesday, one might say. Not sponsored. Faith Dorn, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jess is saying, you okay, Erica? She's hungry. That's what's going on. Davey's saying, I've got a hankering to watch either Black Christmas 2006 or Terrifier 3 tonight. I need to inject some Christmas horror into my veins ahead of Silent Night, Deadly Night next week. That sounds pretty good right now. I love the original Black Christmas. That's an annual watch for me. That's coming up here, but so is Terrifier 3 now. So one of those for sure. The 2006 Black Christmas, it's okay. I don't hate it by any means. I don't know if I love it. I don't know if I love that one as much as the original. That one just, it does it for me. It's great. So 70s, so unique. So just it feels like a first of its kind of movie. I love it. Love Black Christmas. It's a great film. It's very ahead of its time. Feels like a movie that almost feels like a movie that would have been made today, which is crazy. Collarbone YouTube is saying, watch Terrifier 3. I just rewatched it for the first time last month, and it was just as awesome as the first time. I think the other thing about Terrifier 3 is that it's paced a little better than 2, so it's a little more digestible. Probably the most digestible Terrifier flick. 2, I'm not complaining about how long it is, but it's not a movie that I can just throw on, at any time, because it is 2 hours and 20 minutes, right? 3 is a little more doable. But I love, personally, I would watch a 3-hour Terrifier flick. I love how long and outrageous these movies tend to get. So the length of them, I think, just adds to it in those regards. Collarbone is saying, any theories on the Let It All Burn and Fire theme of Scream 7? I have no clue what that could mean or what it will mean. I've kind of talked about it a lot in previous videos and theories, but a big thing for me is I just feel like it's somebody who's coming back from the past, who wants to maybe erase some shit that happened in a certain way. That's why I'm so stuck on the Leslie Mocker thing being the killer. If I were Stu's sister and I was had some nefarious intentions, I was somebody who was a killer, I could see being a character who wanted to rewrite history. And the burning fire theme kind of lends itself to that, right? You're changing things. You're burning things down so that it is it's looked at differently. So I can kind of see that being, you know, part of it, maybe. I hope I'm wrong there. I don't want it to be Leslie Mocker. I don't want it to be anybody, any family members from the past who are now just becoming psycho. I think this franchise has done that way too many times, but I fear that is what we're going to get here in Scream 7s. So Scream has become a little predictable. They have their own tropes now, which I think is kind of funny and ironic. But hey, I'm still down for a good little murder mystery movie. I'm still down to see Sidney Prescott back on the big screen. Hell, Gail Weathers too, and Chad and Mindy and all them fellas. I'm down for. So that's going to be fun at the very least. Tom Dark OX is saying, hi everyone. Hi Tom, how we doing? Welcome in, Tom. Thanks for being with us tonight. Chillin' Killin' Dylan saying Art the Clown is a killer clown from outer space, as will be demonstrated in Terrifier 4. That's the big reveal. This has actually been one big Killer Clowns from Outer Space continuation. I knew it. Next Gen's got a theory as well, saying, I think burn it all down means that he's trying to completely bury the past and Ghostface legacy for good, which is why he's targeting Sidney. And this would also be awesome if, like, our new Ghostface was somebody who had no connections to the past at all, but was trying to maybe change and rewrite history. Maybe stop Ghostfaces forever by just officially taking out Sidney Prescott. This was one of my theories a long time ago before we knew a little more about the flick. I still would love this. I think that's such a killer meta motive too. Because I think they, you know, the people making these movies, they know that bringing back Sidney Prescott is a little controversial at this point. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, you can't help it as a fan, but ask yourself, like, how many more times are they going to bring back Sidney? And this is still all going to be, you know, not redundant. This is all going to still push a story forward. How many more times can we do this before it gets just totally ridiculous? And I think that it would be great if they were able to play into that. You know what I mean? And say, no, there's a reason that we're bringing Sidney Prescott back. There's a reason for it, and the killer's motive is why. And that would be such a big thing to win me over to this film. Having a good killer motive, something that is original and plays into what fans are thinking about the film. I think that the best Scream movies can play into what is going on in the minds of horror fans right now and find a way to subvert that. And this is one of those things. You know, I know maybe not everybody, but some people are wondering, you know, how many more times can we bring back Sidney and it's still relevant? If this movie kind of makes a joke out of that, well, Sidney's just become relevant again. That's how Scream does it. That's the meta way, baby. So I would nothing would make me happier than to see that come true, because I love Sidney Prescott and I would love many, many, many more fresh stories with her. But as it stands right now, we need a little curveball thrown in there to do that, essentially. Michael's coming back with us, throwing $5 out there, getting back to us a little bit about their take on Silent Night, Deadly Night. Saying, I've seen it 15 times and I've always found it to be offensive and depraved like Last House, and for an 80s film, the acting, the nuns, was atrocious. Maybe I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm trying to remember what was like super offensive about it. I mean, it's Santa killing people. I could say this about it. I think they get the whole like PTSD thing maybe kind of wrong. So maybe that's kind of the angle that you're going with it. Again, there's no judgment in this house. I'm just curious. I'm just honestly like, I'm interested in your thoughts and feelings about it. It's a film that was literally protest. I mean, they had Christian groups like protesting outside of it because they didn't like the visual of a killer Santa in movies. And we've even had that happen now for Terrifier 3, which I think is so interesting. You know, it's like, man, not much has changed. You know, it's a crazy, nutty world that we live in. But I'm really trying to, maybe I haven't seen it in a while. Maybe I'm just forgetting if there's something that's really dated about the film that I'm just not remembering. Is there something like in Last House on the Left? Is there something like that in there that I'm just not remembering? Something really fucked up? I genuinely have not seen it in a couple of years. And I'm actually planning on rewatching it at the end of the week. So I guess I'm a little rusty when it comes to that. But Michael, I'll rewatch it and I'll get back to you. So now I have homework. For an 80s film, though, I do agree. I mean, yeah, the acting is atrocious, but that's pretty much all 80s slashers. all 80s slash. Come on now. There wasn't too many great performances in a lot of those. But what I will say is that I need to rewatch it. I really need to rewatch it, and I'm curious. I'm curious what's going on in that film that maybe I'm forgetting about. Michael, thank you for the 5. I greatly appreciate you. And I'm also someone who I really can't watch movies like that too. It's a step too far for me. And I like horror. I like fucked up shit, but that's pushing it a bit too much, even for my tastes. Davey Deathray has been a member for 10 months. Davey, thank you for your support, my friend. I really appreciate you a ton. You're killing it over there on your channel, by the way, and I really do appreciate you a bunch. The OG Silent Night, Deadly Night, he's throwing his 2 cents in there too, is pretty rough, but this new one looks like it's got a Bonnie and Clyde element with the girlfriend. I think it'll outdo the original easy. I agree 100%. I think that you might be right. And based on some early reviews, I've heard a lot of people say that it's got like a Venom inspiration. So my thoughts there is like, it's something that is infecting these people and making them kill around Christmas time. I don't know what that is. I don't know how Michael has kind of reinvented this concept, but I'm very open-minded to it. I'm very open-minded to what he's done with it. I think that a lot of slashers have been done just better nowadays, and a lot of that is because, you know, in the 80s, and I already see people disagreeing with this in the chat, but in the 80s, anybody they saw how easily you can make a slasher and get it in front of a lot of people's faces, a lot of eyeballs, and it's why slashers got old at a certain point, is because everybody and their mother made one. And there's a lot of movies out there that, you know, don't have very good performance. I think the majority of 80s slashers outside of the cream of the crop don't have very good performances because there's a fuck ton of them. There's a lot of slasher movies that came out in the 80s because that was the trend, baby. That was the thing. And they were easy to make. But then, see, here's the thing about that too. Even though there may not be a lot of good, you know, performances in a lot of 80s slashers, there are some really memorable, weird movies out there. Pieces is a movie that I like to bring up a lot because it is just so bizarre. It is a movie that was made by people who clearly did not know how to make movies. And that's kind of why I love it, because it's like when you don't know what to do to make your movie interesting and then you still try to make it great, typically you get a product that is just so unique and bizarre. And this is one of those examples of that. So I've always really loved like a movie like Pieces. I've always really loved a movie like Phantasm kind of is another example where it's so bizarre. It feels so out of left field and just something that is incomparable to anything else out there. And a lot of that comes from the scrappiness and do it yourself attitude of a lot of these just like indie films essentially from the time. So I love that personally. I love that about these old 80s movies and even some 70s movies as well. But a lot of great stuff out there. Even if it doesn't have good performances, that's not necessarily a diss in this case. I can still appreciate it for the weird, scrappy project that it is. And I like weird and scrappy. But I do agree, Davey, I think this new one is going to be done a little better. Maybe the best Silent Night, Deadly Night film out there. That's kind of where my expectations are. But even though I do kind of like the original film, I don't think it's a masterpiece by any means. It's still kind of rough. I still think, like, in terms of, you know, the weird 80s slasher movies, it's up there. I mean, maybe just barely making it into the top 10. I don't know. Just my weird thoughts. I remember actually being kind of surprised by that one, being like, I kind of liked that. That wasn't horrible. And I've seen some bad 80s slashers, man. There's some rough ones. Luke is saying, hey Jake, I'm back. What's up, Luke? How we doing? How you doing, King Sir? I'm fantastic. How are you? For Terrifier 4, do you think Sienna will kill Art the Clown? Absolutely yes. I think that this franchise cannot end without a definitive Art the Clown death. And I think that Damien is just kind of, he's ready to move on. You know, he's ready to do something else and kill Art the Clown for a little bit. That doesn't mean he's gone forever. He's way too big of an icon for something like that. I'm sure they'll do a Terrifier 5 eventually with a brand new storyline and somehow Art's back, you know? I just think for now, Damien wants to move on and do something else. And I'm excited to see what other projects, you know, what other things he's got up his sleeves. I think, you know, a lot of the conversation around Damien's creative work is that he's kind of just done the same thing in multiple movies now. What else does this guy have up his sleeve? And I guess I'm kind of starting to ask myself that question too. Not that I dislike the Terrifier movies. I could take 3, 4, 5 more of them. But at the same time, I don't want it to fall off either. I don't want the quality to go down the drain. I feel like they have a really solid franchise on their hands right now, a really unique one. They're in a weird and unique position where they can make a franchise that is like, each entry gets better, like I was saying earlier, all the way through. There's not too many movies like that. And I really hope that, you know, they just know when to quit. They know when to call it and move on to something else. They're working with something special here, and I think at a certain point we move on. But I think, yes, Art the Clown is going to be killed somehow. Sienna's got to figure out what's going on with this entity. Probably got to go down to, you know, its turf in the new movie. I think that's why we're going to hell in the new movie. I think it's going to be an epic. I really think it's going to be one of those just like epic horror movies that's like just big and triumphant. We're going to be fighting with bows and arrows and swords, and there's going to be lava and fire everywhere. It's going to be outrageous and super over the top. But that's what has me excited about it for sure. Gory Tiger is hanging out with us. What's up, my friend? How we doing? Welcome in. Thomas Isaacs is saying, has everyone seen Welcome to Derry, the TV series, and have you been watching? Yes, I've watched both of these things, Welcome to Derry and Stranger Things Season 5. I covered them in little videos on the page, so definitely give those a watch if you haven't seen them, but I'm really liking both things. I have some small criticisms of Welcome to Derry, maybe even more so of Stranger Things Season 5 so far, but I am really enjoying these watches. It's really good. It's some really good watches. I'm really vibing with it for sure. Davey Deathray is saying Pieces and Curtains, so bizarre and not technically good, but so enjoyable regardless. I agree. Like, not technically good, but do I have a great time watching these? Absolutely, yes. Oh my God. Some bizarre flicks, man. But again, just throwing anything at the wall and hoping to make it stick. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think I love about these movies. Jamie Hart's even saying, I love Pieces. Pieces it's outrageous. It is an outrageous. If you want to watch a ridiculously weird slasher movie, that's the film for you. Jamie, how you doing? Welcome in. Thank you for hanging out with us. Eric has thrown 2 out there saying, Jake likes you, so make sure you like him back. That's a little intimidating, Erica. That's really funny. Thank you for the 2, though. I appreciate you. Perry's asking, can another director take over Terrifier if they wanted to, like 3 years down the road? I would be open-minded to it, but I really think that it should be a similar situation to what Sam Raimi does with the Evil Dead franchise. You know, Sam Raimi is handpicking young directors to, make the next Evil Dead flicks. We currently have 2 movies in the works. One is coming out next summer called Evil Dead Burn, and it's coming from Sebastian Vienichek, and I'm really excited for it. He's a really interesting up-and-coming director and a really intriguing choice, I should say, for doing a new Evil Dead flick. He's only ever made a horrifying spider movie called Infested, which is genuinely one of the scariest movies I've watched in the last couple of years. So that's totally why he's doing Evil Dead. I cannot wait to see what he brings to that franchise. And then we also have this guy named Francis Galuppi who's doing the next one after that. And I watched Last Stop in Yuma County, and again, it was another one where I'm just like, this is such an interesting... Like, Sam Raimi saw something in that movie and was like, this guy needs to do an Evil Dead flick. And I'm like, okay, it's not very... It wasn't very Evil Dead in my opinion, but that's okay. That's... Maybe it's cool to see, fresh perspectives thrown out there. I'm loving that. I'm loving it. I don't know. Sam Raimi is much smarter and more interesting than I. So who am I to question that? And I hope both of these guys absolutely kill it with their new Evil Dead entries. So far, that's another franchise where I just don't think there's a bad entry. I love all 5 movies. I love all 3 seasons of the television show. Nothing Evil Dead is bad. Not even the video games. Those were kind of fun too. I grew up on some of those as well. But lots of great Evil Dead stuff. I really hope that doesn't change with these next 2 movies. I have a lot of faith, though. A lot of faith in Evil Dead, not Rise, Evil Dead Burn. Have a lot of faith in it for sure. Talking Star Wars has thrown 2 out there as well. Thank you so much, Talking Star Wars, saying we like our Jakey. I like you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you. Appreciate you a ton. Thank you for the support, fellas. Appreciate y'all a bunch. Next Gen is saying, we know 4 is the last, but could it still be split into 2 parts for being too long and epic? Like Terrifier, the Ninth Circle, part 1 and 2 or something. I love that. I love the subtitle. I love parts 1 and 2. That would be awesome. That would just be really epic. That's going to be a big question when we're covering the production, because it depends on like how long it's going to take to make this. I think it's really going to depend on like how long are they taking to shoot this one, and is it going to be longer than shooting like Terrifier 2 or Terrifier 3, for instance. Actually, it would be bad to compare it to Terrifier 2 because they had to film that one across a very long amount of time for, scheduling conflicts, just a lot of, I think they were shooting it during COVID. So like that's a whole thing, and budget restraints. There was a skeleton crew working on those movies. But we'll compare it to Terrifier 3 and we'll see what we'll see then. We'll know. That's how we'll know. I'm really hoping they had a bigger budget for Terrifier 4 as well. They deserve it, man. Terrifier 3 making all that money, it's like, come on, dude. That's got to be something right there. Jamie Hart saying, sweet t-shirt, Jake. Thank you so much. Really excited about Mike Flanagan's The Exorcist, by the way. A lot of big updates with that one as well. Scarlett Johansson is starring in that one, which is such an interesting choice as well. Like another like never thought that would ever happen. You know, that's bizarre. Mike Flanagan, he does not like to make continuations for something that are hell-bent on nostalgia, like pretty much everything else in the space. He promises a film that is totally its own thing, nothing that, you know, picks off of other stories, essentially. It's just a new story in the Exorcist universe. And that's like, that to me is the way to do it. One-shot stories, man. Dan Trachtenberg is a master at that, and he's currently flourishing with those ideas in the Predator universe. Final Destination also flourishing with those ideas with Final Destination Bloodlines most recently. This is the way to continue franchises. Just let these new directors do whatever they want with these concepts. That to me is the way to go. So I'm really excited for the new Exorcist. I have a lot more faith in it than The Exorcist Believer with David Gordon Green. I think this is going to be a much better movie. So I'm definitely excited for it. Cannot wait. And talking Star Wars, I agree. I can't wait for Amazon's Carrie. Lillard is in it. Yes, Matthew Lillard has been working very closely with Mike Flanagan recently. He was in The Life of Chuck, and now he's going to be the principal in Carrie. So I'm definitely excited to see that. I don't think we need any more. I think we've already done Carrie perfectly, but like I'll see it. You know, it's Mike Flanagan, dude. I'll see anything he makes. He's proven himself in those regards. But I feel like we've done Carrie. You know, the Sissy Spacek one was perfect. we never needed any more Carrie, in my humble opinion. But I'm open-minded. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. Thomas is saying, I have been watching the last Stranger Things season 4 for now, and now I am you're about to watch the next season, essentially. Hell yeah, dog. Enjoy. Season 4 is my favorite season so far, and I'm excited to see if 5 tops it. We'll have to see what happens in the next couple of episodes, of course, though. Definitely excited. Definitely hyped up. Luke is saying, excuse me, Jake, do you think we'll ever see another Halloween film? Absolutely. Not continuing the story from Halloween Ends, no. But I do think we'll see some new, a new timeline, a new story with Michael Myers at some point. They're just, Michael is way too interesting of a villain to ever die. I think they're just going to give it some time. You know, after Halloween Ends kind of got some negative reviews, they're just going to let people miss it, you know, and then once we really are like, oh man, I wish there was a new Halloween flick coming out, someone will make one. I promise. They always do. Listen, there was a new, I remember after the Dark Knight Rises, you know, everybody was like, man, they got to stop making Batman movies. I never want to see another Batman movie. I'm good. And then they continued to make so many fucking Batman movies. Not only was he a character in a bunch of stuff, but like now we have another solo Batman flick from just a couple years ago. We're getting a sequel to that very soon here as well. So just like, I mean, Michael Myers is a character like Batman, I guess is my point. They're gonna make more stuff with him. There's a TV series in the works, and I'm sure we'll have another movie that continues the franchise onward in its own way from a brand new filmmaker at some point in the future. So it'll happen, just maybe not anytime super soon. Jake, have you played Silent Hill F yet? I just finished it, and new game plus is totally different. Great game. I gotta play it. I've never really played. Well, yes, I have. I played through a few like smaller Silent Hill games. Is that a good place to start? I really don't know too much about Silent Hill, I guess. So I'm wondering if that's like a great place to really dive into the franchise or not. I played some of like the offshoot games. Like there was some like PlayStation 2 Silent Hills that I've played through that are really fun. I've never played the original game, so I'm wondering if Silent Hill F is a good place to start or not. But I've heard very good things about that one. Definitely want to give it a watch for sure. Or give it a playthrough, not a watch. I want to actually sit down and play it. I don't want to just watch it. Jason Carpenter saying, "What's up, Jake? Just made it in. I'm skipping the new Scream 7 trailer on Thursday. Damn, don't want to get anything spoiled, huh? I'm gonna watch it for you, and I'll let you know if there's anything spoilery in it. I already feel like there was spoilery stuff in that first trailer, but We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Hey, maybe it's all misdirection, but I don't know if the trailer is that smart. I guess is what I'm banking on. I really think I think we already know about a few character deaths based on that first trailer, and I'm sure the second trailer will give us another bits and pieces of ideas as well. But we'll see. We'll see where it's going, what's going on with all that. Michael Rue is saying picking up after Halloween 4 would be melons. I think that I think that would be cool, but I just don't know if enough people have seen or care about Halloween 4. Sadly, I care about it. I love Halloween 4. I think it's criminally underrated, but I just don't know from a marketing perspective, if they're going to be like, let's pick up from that movie from the 80s. I don't know. The original, plenty of people have seen, right? It's like you could totally pick up after that movie. Everyone knows what happens in Halloween at this point, but Halloween 4, it's a little more of a stretch. I think just do, like, if you wanted to do the whole idea of Michael Myers is after a kid or something that's connected to him, just start a new timeline, start a new timeline and try to do that story, but differently. Do it, make it your own. That could be fun. Mastermind Killer is saying, Jake, did you know about the actress who did the demon voice in the original Exorcist? Her son murdered his entire family in 1987 after watching A Nightmare on Elm Street while wearing a scary mask. I did not know that. That's really fucked up and upsetting, Paul. My God. Jeez. I did know about, I saw some sort of documentary or behind the scenes thing for The Exorcist with that lady, and like she has like a voice kind of like this, she's got like that really raspy, like I've smoked cigarettes my whole life kind of voice. Perfect for the role. Tell you what, I did not know that about her son though. That's terrible. What about A Nightmare on Elm Street, man? Oh God. Jeez. Brutal. Eli Cortez, what's up, my friend? Welcome in, welcome in. Don't forget to slash that like button and sub to this awesome channel. You're too kind, Eli. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Michael Rue, channel member, thank you. Playing your PS2 right now. Very nice, very nice. Jamie's also saying you can play Silent Hill F without playing any of the others. It would be a great one for you to play. Okay, I'm going to have to get into that. I really, really, really want to play it. I saw a trailer for it. It looked super brutal, super fresh. And that has me excited. Silent Hill is like one of those games that, like, the aesthetic of it, I love. I'm enamored to. I think it's so interesting. So I've always wanted to play more of those games if I could. The soundtrack for a lot of those games too go very hard. I'll have to whip out some of those tracks at some point. Talking Star Wars is throwing $2 out there. Thank you for your support, my friend. What Stephen King film do you want a remake of? Oh man, that's a really good question. There are so many good ones. I think The Dead Zone. I really like the movie adaptation that we have of The Dead Zone, but I think a new version, someone else tackling it, I wouldn't mind that at all. I really want to see somebody bring to life The Jaunt. I think that The Jaunt is, it's one of those stories from King that is terrifying and no one's done anything with it. That needs to be a feature film. I don't know. That to me, it almost kind of made me scratch my head a little bit when The Monkey, a very, very obscure and so, I don't want to say redundant, but it's just it's a story that plays off of very familiar, like Edgar Allan Poe tropes. Where like I feel like something like The Jaunt is so much more original from King's catalog, and no one's done anything with that yet. If you have no idea what The Jaunt is, I highly recommend you read it. It's a short story. I think it's in Skeleton Crew, if I'm not mistaken. Very quick read. It's literally about this family who's about to teleport, like they're about to travel. And it's like way in the future. They're using teleportation, and they're talking about people who have gone through the teleportation machines and something fucked up happened. And like basically their mind experienced like an infinite amount of years. And when they got out of it, like all they could think to do was die. And I don't want to say the word that, I would mean self-inflicted, if that makes sense. And let's just say something happens where the family goes through and some fucked up shit happens. But my point being with all of this is like, I don't understand how that hasn't been turned into a bigger story. You know what I like? That could be a whole feature film. That's a crazy idea. And I'd love to see that made into a full feature at some point. Great Stephen King story that has always intrigued me. Would love to see more with that one for sure. Jason Carpenter is saying Halloween 4 is genuinely scary as hell. I like the mask, but that's the only thing that holds it back for other peeps. I don't like The Mask, but I still vibe with Halloween 4. It's got a different, like, kind of more chilling vibe to it, like you said. You know, but then there's also goofy moments just like the original too, which is good in my opinion. I think it's a nice balance of a little more grounded terror and also some even overly campier moments than the original. Halloween 4 is great, man. I think it's a really fun movie. It's a little slow at times. That's probably my biggest dig at it. I mean, The Mask is whatever, but I think I don't know. I really Halloween 4 is good, man. It's probably one of the most underrated Halloween flicks. Paul is saying lots of craziness happened to the actors from the original Exorcist. Yeah, a lot of craziness did. That's like a cursed film, man. It's brutal. Jamie Hart is saying don't play Silent Hill F on hard mode. Even story mode is brutal. Start at casual or story. Okay, gotcha. I won't go too crazy with it. Next Gen is saying, Jake, are you a Zombieland fan? Absolutely, yes. It's one of my favorites. Apparently, they're planning a third for 2029. That'd be cool to see the evolution of that world in a trilogy of decades. I agree. I'd be down for a Zombieland 3. I wasn't head over heels in love with part 2, but it was still really good. I love the original is like just one of those horror comedies I keep coming back to. I think it's just a really well done film. Sequel's solid. I mean, it's a really solid sequel. I think it's got some like fun new characters and evolution of the characters present already, which is like maybe some of the best, most well done parts of it. Oh, and what's her name is in that? Is that actress's name like Zoe Deutsch or something like that? I can't remember, but her character, like maybe the best part of the sequel. I almost forgot about that. That she was such a standout. Maybe the biggest thing that I remember from that whole film. But I love the Zombieland movies. I'd be so down for a part 3. And I love the idea that doing it in 2029 is so funny to me. That's like 10 years apart for each sequel. I saw both in theaters, and I'll see this one in theaters as well. That would be so exciting. Leo is saying, this cocaine is a real bitch for my sinuses. That is all. Well, you know, I appreciate you for sharing that information with us. What the fuck? Jamie Hart is saying, will there be Twinkies? I'll be down if there are Twinkies. I agree. I need Twinkies in Zombieland 3. Otherwise, I'm not there for it. Was there even a mention of Twinkies in Zombieland 2? I think that was one of my biggest disappointments. I was like, where are the fucking Twinkies? You know? Huh? It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing in the last movie, and now nothing but Twinkies. Now no Twinkies. I need the Twinks, damn it. Paula Fitzhenry is saying, I agree. Hello, Paula. How we doing? Welcome in. Appreciate ya. Davey just got out of the shower, but somehow I feel dirtier. Must be the Killjoy Jake effect. Oh, I make everything a little dirty, baby. I'm glad you're here getting all sloppy and dirty with us, Davey. I appreciate it. It's a slop fest tonight. Mastermind Killer is saying, try getting Emma Stone for Zombieland 3, just saying. She did it in Zombieland 2, and I mean, I feel like she was a pretty big star, like even then. She's a bigger star now, for sure. I agree. But I don't know. I feel like I feel like she would do it. I think she likes doing these movies. If I'm being real. Emma Stone, like that's the thing about Emma. She does a lot of weird movies though. Like, yeah, she's a big star, but like, dude, she does some weird ass fucking movies. Did you guys see Poor Things? Poor Things was so weird. Like, I don't know. Was that even an Oscar contender? Point being, it's a weird movie, and she gives a weird performance in it. Oh man, bizarre flick, but I kind of loved it. I still haven't seen Begonia from earlier this year. I'm curious if anyone saw that, what they thought about it. Speaking of Emma Stone, Val's Views is saying, hey you guys. What's up, my friend? How we doing? Welcome in. Appreciate you for being with us. Shot by Shot is saying, trust me, I know the Killjoy Jake effect. Oh, God. We got Erica hanging out with us. Thank you for the 2, saying chugging along to that goal. We're at 7 out of 10, baby. We might just make it. Who knows? But I appreciate you, Erica. Thank you for helping us get a little closer to it. Means a ton. Be closer to streaming for a whole nother hour here before we play a Menti over on the gaming channel, where I'm going to be stuck in a pyramid screaming my ass off, and it's going to be terrifying. So definitely stop on by. She won Best Actress for Poor Things. I genuinely did not know that. I don't keep up with the Oscars or anything like that at all. Like, I don't it's such a nothing award to me nowadays. Like, I think it used to mean something back in the day, but like, I don't know, they nominate some crazy shit every now and then. It's like, okay, that totally deserved it. Like, in my opinion, Poor Things totally deserved it. But then there are times where I'm just like, what even is this? I've never even heard of this movie before. There's sometimes like that where I'm just like, what? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Some crazy things happening with the Academy sometimes, or they just won't nominate great horror films. You know, that's a big thing for me. I'm just like, what was it from a couple of years ago? Hereditary, nothing. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's a tragedy is what that is. At least last year we got a little bit of Academy recognition, you know, with The Substance, and they actually did win something. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, wasn't it like best hair and makeup or something? I think Nosferatu got nominated as well. It might have won something, I'm not sure. And Alien Romulus, I think, got nominated for best makeup, which was really cool. So, you know, rock on. But that was cool last year, but the Academy needs to do more. They need to do better, man. So many horror movies have flown under the radar, and it's been a tragedy, is what it's been with some of these movies not even getting nominated. Crazy stuff, man. I'm really excited for some of these trailers coming out this week, though. How are we feeling about Ready or Not 2, guys? I'm really excited for this one. Oh boy, we got a little teaser trailer today, and some brand new photos as well, which was really exciting. I'm loving the way this movie's looking. It looks like we're dealing with a whole bunch of new crazy rich people who need to die, who have made deals with the devil, and I think it's going to be a really fun one. I'm really excited. Really excited for that. Really hyped for little Ready or Not 2. Crash winning Best Picture in 2005 was proof that the Academy Awards doesn't mean shit. It was so heavy-handed and so preachy. Correct about horror and the Oscars. I don't know, man. The Academy, it's something else over there, man. I don't know. I think the other thing too about just film in general is that it's not about winning awards. You know, it's just like, make your vision, make what you want to make. It shouldn't matter if it's an award-winning film or not. Like, is it something that works for you? You know, there are some sloppy movies that people fucking love. And it doesn't matter if it wins an award or not, you know? So I'm never looking for things like that, but I don't know. I will seek out a movie if it sounds good to me. That's how I feel about it. Is Ready or Not 2 getting a theatrical release? Abso-freaking-lutely it is. Oh yeah, it's coming out on April 10th of next year. It's probably going to be the big movie I'm covering after Scream 7. So like for the next like month and a half after that, probably going to be covering that one very closely. Then probably after that, it's going to be like Scary Movie 6 and Evil Dead Burn. Is what I'm thinking. So really, I'm hyped for all these movies, though. There's a lot of good stuff coming out in 2026. It's going to be nonstop. And hell, we might even get Terrifier 4 next year. I'm starting to speculate that a little bit. That might be our big October movie next year, dude. I mean, if they go into production at the top of the year, that's what happened with Terrifier 3. Like, at the top of the year, they filmed it, and then they put it out the following October. So anything's possible, man. We could get, you know, Terrifier 4 as early as next year, and that would be awesome. So point being, though, lots of big releases in 2026. It's going to be nonstop horror left and right. Just kind of like how this year was, which is great. And I can't, I seriously cannot complain. Samantha Robinson is saying, Ready or Not, Here I Come sounds insane. Absolutely. I just realized I did not have live chat on, so I was not seeing everybody's stuff. I'm so sorry. You hit me with the phone and saying I genuinely don't know if that message is going through. I see your stuff now. I'm sorry. I always forget to do it. I don't hit live chat. I just hit top chat. What's the biggest chats in there? So I missed some stuff. Sorry about that. My bad. You're saying, have you seen any of the series in the Immortal Universe franchise based on the works of Anne Rice? I have not. I'm going to be honest. I totally haven't even heard of that before, but I will look into it. I absolutely will check it out. Something I've been really into lately has been Pluribus. I've been watching Pluribus and Severance over on Apple TV. Two just phenomenal shows. I can't believe I missed out on them for so long. I literally I've been hearing so many good things about these shows. I love sci-fi. Sci-fi is maybe my favorite genre just ever, and I've heard crazy good things about both these shows, and I'm like, I'm just gonna bite the bullet. Let's just do Apple TV. Let's make this happen. And I started watching them, and I'm like, I'm hooked. These are some of my favorite shows I've watched in recent memory. Oh my god. I mean, doing it at the same time too. I mean, I feel spoiled. It's it's crazy. I've never been more invested in two TV shows like at the same time. I'm dying to have some free time to go and watch more of it. We have a new episode of Pluribus tomorrow. I might actually cover it on the page. I don't care. It's so good. It's horror adjacent, you know, at the very least. It's kind of got like Pluribus at least has like an Invasion of the Body Snatchers thing going on, but like just different. Like I don't know how else to explain it without spoiling it, but great show to go into blind. Paul's saying love Pluribus and all her fault. Pluribus is it's fucking awesome, dude. Could not recommend it enough. Leo is saying more on the action side, but Brendan Fraser signing up for another Mummy movie is pretty damn cool. The Mummy 3 was so bad and it shouldn't end there. I agree, and I'd love to see that franchise come back. It's cool that Radio Silence is doing it too. Absolutely love them. And I'm really excited to see where part 4 takes us. We have Rachel Weisbach, if I'm pronouncing her last name correctly, which is really exciting. I know she wasn't in the third one, so it's going to be great to see her in this one coming back. So it's the real Mummy 3, you know? I haven't seen those movies in forever, but they were like, the first one at least was a staple in our household. Like that was a movie we came back to all the time. There was a lot of weird movies when we were growing up that we watched. We watched that movie, Congo. Loved both of those. Like Jurassic Park, like a ton of weird movies like that. But I love the Mummy movies. I'm so excited to rewatch those and can't wait for a part 4. It's going to be awesome. What else is going on? We got Jamie Hart throwing $2 out there. Jamie, thank you for the support. Have you ever watched Twin Peaks? Do it if not. I have tried to start Twin Peaks so many times, and it's not even that I dislike it. I've been it's such a unique show. Like it sticks in your brain. It is bizarre. It is so out there, and I've just never ended up finishing it. And it's not for any negative reasons at all. I think this is a fantastic show. I've just never sat down and actually watched through all of it. This is one that has been on my watch list since like forever though. Jamie, I've been wanting to watch that one. David Lynch is a guy that I've been really sleeping on. I have not watched too many of his things. He's a master of horror in his own regards. He's got his own very unique flavor about him. From what I have seen, I know that he's very weird. He's very unique, and I need to see some more of his shit. I think, like, honest to God, the reason I haven't watched too much David Lynch shit is because I started with Eraserhead, and I think that's the you don't start with Eraserhead. Like that should be like your third or fourth David Lynch thing, because it's a tough watch. It's like it's one of those movies that they show you in film school. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's a lot. It's a tough watch. It's not an easy watch by any means. But Twin Peaks, I imagine, is a little easier to get into. So at some point, Jamie, I am going to finish that, I promise. I'm actually making a point over on my Deep Dive channel very soon here. I'm about to cover all the 28 Blank Later films starting in a couple of weeks here. But after that, after I cover all those, I'm going to just go full-blown TV show mode, like probably for the rest of 2026, and I'm so serious. Because I made a point not to cover Scream or Scream-adjacent projects over there. That's what this page is about, pretty much. And I'm trying to get into like just a different groups of stuff on that page. So I think I'm going to start covering like a bunch of TV shows. That might be one of them. Twin Peaks might be something I end up getting into a little bit. So Jamie, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you throwing that out there, because I always forget about Twin Peaks, and I shouldn't, because I've heard nothing but great things about it. And you're even saying it's your favorite show of all time. I've heard multiple people say it's one of the best shows of all time. And I really need to sit down and watch it. So love that so much. Thank you so much, Jamie. Appreciate the two. Erica's throwing $5 out there saying, I will be giving away some channel memberships over on Jake's gaming channel. Oh shit. Oh, this is exciting, man. So make sure y'all head over there tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, Amenti time. Oh yeah. Erica, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate your support of all the pages that we have around here. Running 3 YouTube channels is not easy, and Erica makes it all happen with the support there. So thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate that a ton. So thank you for the 5. And I love that. Guys, yeah, if you, a Menti is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight, so do not miss that. It's going to be a blast. Make sure to stop on by. Talking Star Wars is throwing a whole $1 out there. Thank you so much. You just paid for my pizza slice tomorrow that I plan on getting. Appreciate that a ton. Thank you, thank you. And Mastermind Killer Paul is throwing $2 out there asking me to sing for you. With the arms wide open. I just chant a little Scott Stop for you. There we go. That's all I got. That's all I can do without the copyright claims coming in. And Scott Stop literally jumping out of a portal. He can do that, and just elbowing me right in the Adam's apple. He'll do that. Just be careful. So don't sing his stuff for longer than 5 seconds, or it'll happen. But Paul, thank you for the 2. I hope that satisfies your singing urge there. But I appreciate you a ton, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Super chat goal has been hit. Thank you to everyone who sent in a super chat. Hell yes. Erica, thank you. Paul, thank you. Talking Star Wars, thank you. Jamie Hart, y'all rock. I feel like I missed somebody, but thank you to everybody who sent in super chats. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you guys a ton. Just Jess is saying, I don't think anyone will be as excited for a Menti as I am. I know. I know you're excited for it. Jess has literally been requesting this like since we started to get real serious about that gaming page, which was like back in February. So it's finally happening tonight, and I hope that you enjoy it. That's what I'll say. I really hope that you vibe with it. Me getting jump scared, because I got an energy drink in my system. My heart's probably already going to be going like this, so I can't even imagine. It's gonna be nuts. I might have a medical emergency on stream tonight. No, I'm kidding. You hit me with the phone is saying, speaking of video games, which company would you choose for a Scream game if you could? Also, as I typed that, I heard you sing a Creed song. I love it. I love me some Creed. What can I say? It's probably the same company, and I can't remember their name, but like same people who make like Until Dawn or like The Quarry, like that kind of game would be perfect for Scream that is so story oriented. I feel like you couldn't do like, you know, having Ghostface in like Dead by Daylight is cool, but I wouldn't want like a multiplayer Scream game. Like I want like a story based Ghostface game where I'm trying to figure out who it is the entire time, or vice versa, you know what I mean, where it's kind of like I'm playing as Ghostface, you know, running through. Maybe I already know who it is. I really think it would be Supermassive Games. Yeah, 100%. That would be my number one choice. Again, I just think that Scream is so reliant on the murder mystery. That's the big thing about this franchise. I think you're just kind of like missing the point if you do a video game that doesn't have that element to it. So I really think that would be the way to go. Next Gen is saying, I want to write a script, but I hate the screenplay format. I wonder how effective it would be if I wrote like a novel and asked ChatGPT to format it. I promise you, just learn how to do screenwriting stuff. It's going to be way easier. It's really not that hard. What I recommend doing is downloading specifically a screenwriting software. There's a really easy one called Studio Binder that like basically it's so generic. It's so simple. It's not too crazy at all, and it kind of shows you all the very simplistic elements of how a screenplay should look. It's just like, it's way easier to read a screenplay when you're like, let's say you're gonna go and film it, you know what I mean, with actors. It's gonna be way easier to read something like a screenplay format versus something like a book, you know. Just because, like, you know, actors can highlight lines. You like there's actually dialogue. You know, there's ways to look at it. Like, here's a thing of dialogue. Here's a block of, you know, stage directions or something. You know, so I highly recommend doing screenplay format and just writing it in a Studio Binder's one I recommend if you want to actually like throw some money into it. Writer Duet is like what I was typically using when I was writing a little more when I was doing some more serious writing. I'm writing a screenplay right now. I don't want to say too much about that quite yet, but I recommend Studio Binder because you can like write a script for free essentially on there, which is nice. So that's what I would recommend doing. Because if you throw it in the ChatGPT, it's gonna fuck up shit. Don't trust AI with your art. That's what I'll say. Davey Deathray is saying, let's be honest, Scream is just Halloween meets Clue. Make it a game like that. I agree. Davey, I 100% agree, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's a ton of fun. I love a good mystery. But that's just it. That's exactly it. You gotta have a good mystery if you're gonna have a Scream game. You can't just, I mean, I don't want to just play, it's not like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't want to just play as Ghostface running around stabbing people. That's cool. But I need more than that. You know, Scream has so many more facets to it. If you're going to adapt that into a video game, you know, I think you should kind of find a way to have all the cool elements about Scream into a video game, right? So you're right. It's basically, I want a Clue style game, you know, with a good story and different characters. Davey's hopping into a work meeting. Have a great rest of the night, everyone. Jake, be on the lookout for an email from me later on. I'll be looking out, my friend. Always down for some collaboration or some crazy bullshit, my dude. So let me know. Let me know what's up. Thanks for hanging out with us, Davey. I appreciate you. Oh, and Jamie's talking about a really exciting game that's coming up here. The Halloween game, single player, sold me. I'm very excited for the Halloween game. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. They have the multiplayer mode, but you're right, Jamie. What sold me is the fact that you can play it single player as well, because so many of these multiplayer horror games die so quickly. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, speaking of which, oh my God, that one's dead. Killer Clowns is on its way out. I think what's great about the Halloween game is that even after the multiplayer sort of dies, you'll still be able to play it because they got a single player mode. And that's awesome to me. That tells me it's going to be worthwhile. I'm not putting my money into this and then it's just going to be gone, you know? It's just going to be whatever. I literally just bought the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game too. Like literally days before the company that makes it says like they're going to shut it all down pretty soon here. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Like I just spent all this money on that game. I was hoping it would be a game for the gaming channel, like something I could play a little more, but there's no point. There's literally no point in trying to build that right now with that being gone. Oh yeah, and the Hellraiser game. Eli, I totally forgot about that. Is that not out yet? I thought that was out already. The Hellraiser game looks awesome. Definitely want to play that at some point. I love Hellraiser, and to know that there's more, like it's a story-based Hellraiser game too. I need to play through that. Like it's a not a want, it's a need. It's a must. Jamie never plays the multiplayer games. I'm antisocial. You can play it with the mic off. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. You can just run around and, you know, survive. So that is the thing. That's what I tend to do. I don't need to be talking to strangers on video games. but yeah. Paul is saying, Jake, what motive for a Ghostface would be the best in your opinion that you would want to see in a Scream movie? My dream motive for Scream 7 in particular, that I don't think it'll happen, but I think it would be literally perfect for this film. And I talked about it earlier, but my God, I would do anything for this to be the motive in Scream 7. Have the Ghostface going after Sidney because, hey, if I kill Sidney Prescott, there will be no more Ghostfaces. What's interesting to me about that motive is that Ghostface is sort of right, but going about it in a really evil and, you know, cruel and unusual way. That's what's interesting about it to me. It's kind of like Ghostface Thanos in a way. Good intentions. You know, maybe it's a Ghostface who, sure, was wronged before in the past. Maybe somebody who had somebody kill one of their kids. Or something like that, whatever. Not someone connected to the past, for the love of God. Ghostface got some random character that we didn't know about, you know? Something like that. Ghostface is now going after Sidney because Ghostfaces keep popping up to go after Sidney. So if we just take her out, no more Ghostfaces. Simple as that. I think that would be that would be super interesting to me. That would give us such a great reason to be coming after Sidney Prescott specifically again. And I think would just fuel a whole new story with her. If you want to tell a Sidney story, that's like the best way to do it in my mind. I strongly believe that's not what we're getting in Scream 7, and that kind of bums me out. But like if it were me, if I were, you know, if I was in the writing room, I would throw that idea out there. Like however you want to approach it, just make that happen, for the love of God. I think that's like one of the coolest motives ever. Just because like I think it's more interesting for a villain to not just be so comically evil, but also like think they're the good guy, right? Like those are the most interesting villains to me. Those are the most interesting people to chew on. because it's like, oh shit, you know, it's like, well, that guy kind of has a point. Like, those are the most interesting villains to me, is the ones that are like sort of right, but maybe going about it in the worst way possible. That's why I think Thanos is such a great villain, and it's such a beloved villain in the MCU. I think there's plenty of other villains I'm sure that are great examples of that. I just can't think of some off the top of my head. Thanos is like the easiest one to pick out of the bunch for that reason. But Ghostface Thanos, give me that. That's what I want. Collect the Infinity Stones of different characters to wipe out. Samantha Robinson is saying, Jake, can we go back to Buttnuts Water Park tomorrow or this week? Yeah, we absolutely can. Well, I'll do a stream of that sometime soon. That'll be fun. It's Water Park Simulator. I'm like, I've kind of gotten to a point with it where like I've played it so much, I'm kind of sick of it. But like I'm down to do a little bit of it. I haven't played it in a while, so I don't think I'm sick of it anymore. We'll see what happens. Jamie's saying, like John Kramer in Saw. That's a very good example. He thinks he's doing good. It's twisted. I love it. Exactly. John thinks he's correcting people. He thinks he's like helping them out and setting them on the right path by traumatizing them essentially, but he's not. You know, it's just awful shit. And Jamie, I totally agree. I 100% yes. Rob Ellis is saying, I think that there will be a copycat killer who has found some behind the scenes footage from the Stab movies with Roman talking. That is how Roman will come into it with him on the videos. That could be cool. I'd be very open-minded to that. I'd be so down for you know, something along those lines. That'd be a lot of fun. You hit me with the phone is saying, my apologies if it's too soon to ask, but will your upcoming projects have Kickstarters? Horror fans are known to support each other, so I wanted to ask. Yes. Yeah, I want to have something solid before I'm ready to get into another feature. It's I'll be just completely honest with you. Red Right Hand traumatized me. It was an ungodly amount of work. We barely got it done. I did not sleep for like 3 days straight in order to make sure it wrapped up before the premiere. We were literally still editing it as the day of the premiere, and then we finished it and just got, I mean, I'm not even kidding. We got it to the theater maybe 5 minutes before everybody was showing up, and we got it ready to go. A few minutes to spare. And it's just, I know it's going to be a similar situation again as we get into that. And there's a few things life-wise that I want to get through before I get into something like that. I'm about to get married, and I'm very thankful for that. But I don't want to be doing that at the same time as you know, shooting and editing a whole movie. But I think I fucked up with Red Right Hand in the sense of I put a date before the release. I said we're gonna get it done in a year, and that was stupid. I should not have said that, and I should have given ourselves more time. So I'm not giving myself any sort of, you know, deadline or date. We're gonna do the Kickstarter for it at some point, and we're gonna shoot it when we can and just make it happen. It might take a couple of years. You know, that's just how it works with a feature film to get everything right. And that's totally fine. We're just gonna make it happen. So that is coming soon, though. I promise. I think maybe sometime next year we might run the Kickstarter. I don't want to say that because I don't even want to put it in stone. But I'm very close to being ready to doing something like that. I'm very close to very close. That's what I'll say. Close to getting into another feature. We have an idea that I'm pretty dead set on that I know we could do locally. And I'm ready. I'm ready to do another feature now. I feel more experienced now. If you guys don't know, I released a short film at the top of the year called Chicken Man. It's a slasher flick that I'm proud of. I think it's fun, but it is kind of just a generic slasher. We ended up doing a 48-hour project that ended up winning Best Film during the Cleveland 48 Hour, and it's actually going to be screened in Portugal sometime in March of next year, which is so exciting to me. It's weird. It's going to a film festival in Portugal. My fucking a short film we filmed in 48 hours. It's crazy. It's nuts to me. But that's really exciting stuff, and we're hoping to do some more. We're hoping to do something else in the future. That's what I'll say. Joe Bamba is saying, do something different but wanting Stu alive. I don't know. Is that different though? Is a repeat killer different? You know what I mean? Is that not just repeating the same thing as what we did in the original Scream? I have a lot of people who are like, that's not doing the same thing. We've never brought a killer back. And I'm like, well, I feel like there's a reason for that. There's a lot of ideas that have not been done in the Scream franchise, and there's good reason for it. There's a reason Sidney was never the killer. There's a reason Sidney has never been killed. There's a reason we shouldn't repeat killers. I don't know. It's my thoughts. I don't know. I think there's a point where it's too far. You're turning Scream into something it's not, that it isn't. So that's what I'm worried about. Leo, crazy hot take here. Scream 2 was the last really good movie in the franchise to me. Scream 7 needs to do something different, and I hope Stu really is alive. I've never understood. I've heard a lot of people say that, and I respect the opinion, but I've heard a lot of people say like Screams 1 and 2 are great, the rest of them suck. I don't know. I guess I just don't get that. I love the original. I think the first one is like a masterpiece. I don't think any of the sequels do come close to that, but like I think honestly, I feel very similar about all the sequels. I think they're all kind of like right here for me, with like maybe some are a little lesser, some are a little more. I don't feel too strongly about any of the sequels one way or the other. I think Scream 3 is definitely my least favorite, and I think Scream 4 is definitely my favorite of the sequels. But like in the middle there, you could kind of rearrange them. 2, 5, and 6 are all just about the same level to me. I feel very similarly about all three of those films. I don't know. I don't think 2 stands out that much to me, for me personally. 2, 5, and 6, all about the same level of quality, which I guess is it's a crazy hot take, but I don't know. I just all three of those movies have some very strong positives and some very strong negatives, in my opinion. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Jamie's saying my favorite is Scream 3. Scream 3 is fun, but it's a Scooby-Doo movie. It's not even a Scream movie. That's kind of how I feel about it. It's not bad. I don't think it's a bad movie. It's really grown on me. The first time I saw it, I thought it was terrible. I was like, this is atrocious. I don't like this movie at all. But the more I watched it, the more I watched Scream 3, the more it grew on me, is what I'll say. I think that 3 is... it has this hidden level of commentary that I really have come to appreciate the more that I've watched it. And I think that's what has really risen that one up to, okay, this is good. This is cool. But a lot of the humor does not work for me in Scream 3. I think it's just way too outrageous. And it's a shame that they watered that one down as much as they did. I mean, I'm shocked it has an R rating. It's a PG-13 James Gunn Scooby-Doo movie, basically. It's hardly even a Scream film. I have a fun time with it, but I don't know. I just don't think... I don't think 3 is the only one. 3 is the movie that loses the tone of the whole franchise the most for me, which again, I guess is a hot take. Magnificent Logos hanging out with us saying, sup Jake, sorry I'm late. It's all good. I'm just glad you're here now. What's up? Davy James, or should I say Davy Jones, is also hanging out with us. What's up? Davy Jones Locker. How we doing? I love 3 for Parker Posey. Parker Posey is a big standout of part 3. I think she's hilarious in that movie. Some great stuff there. Joe Bamba is saying, I have a doing something different idea. I'm here for that. I'm all ears for something like that. Sydney has a long lost twin, and the twin kills her and takes her place being a secret mastermind for the next 2 movies. You just want to see Nev Campbell be a killer, huh? I mean, that actually could be fun, but I don't know. I think Sydney is too precious of a character. We just can't do anything too negative. Too nasty to her, right? You hit me with the phone as saying, understandable, I agree, being patient with your projects makes them feel fun and enjoyable instead of like work. Yeah, I don't want to, I also just don't want to make the same mistakes as what we did with Red Right Hand. I think that's probably my I'm proud of it. I think it's cool to have done a fan film, but I think with my first like actual feature film, my first like original thing that isn't based on another IP, I really want it to be approached in the best possible way. I want it to be the most professional thing I can possibly do with the resources that I'm given. So I want it to be perfect. A lot of great people in the Cleveland film scene that I've become friends with as well. And there's so many people that I really want schedules to align. I think that's another big part of it. I want as many good people as possible working on it if possible. So I think that's another big element. I think that there's a lot of people that I think just think movies are a single person's vision. But like the truth of it is a movie is a ton of artists coming together to make something. That's what attracts me so much to movies in general. It's a collaboration between like 100 people, essentially. Those are the best kind of movies, in my opinion, when everyone has like an artistic something that they've thrown into it and made it something else. So I really, really, really think you know, if you're just one person making a movie, it's gonna be fine. But can you make something with a bunch of people who are all skilled at some sort of something coming together and making something fantastic? So that's kind of, especially with this project that's coming up here, I really want it to be that. Parker Posey is amazing. I love her in anything. She was really good. The most recent thing I saw her in was Beau is Afraid. She was a big standout of that movie too. Beau is Afraid is such a weird one, but she has a big moment in that. Let's just say that. Jamie's saying Red Right Hand is how I found you. Oh my God, that's awesome. I was floored. You were actually really scary in it. Been a fan since. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I mean, I'll be honest. It was just my excuse to play Ghostface. It was me throwing my hat in the ring to play Ghostface. I want to be a Ghostface killer. I feel like I could do that really well in the film. So I really love that. It was really fun doing that, playing that role. And also getting to do some experimental shit. You know, we actually had a budget, like a decent budget enough to do some special effects. And I'll admit a lot of it went towards the dream sequence, which is still my favorite part of that whole movie. But I'm glad we were able to do it. It was that was a crazy day. We had to shoot two big scenes that day, and I had to shave my head that day, and then we had to go out and do that. We had people working at a buddy's house, digging a hole in the backyard in order to, you know, basically put this gigantic rig underneath the ground that was going to spray up a bunch of blood at me. And it was, we had to go film the scene. It was literally me and like two other people. We're filming this other scene at back in my folks' house. Chaos. It was a really fun day, but I read that scene in Red Right Hand, probably my favorite part of the whole thing. What else is going on? Erica's throwing some love for Chicken Man out there. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. Leo saying David Arquette hates Scream 3, and he told me at a horror convention how he hated how they had to water it down after the Columbine thing. Yeah, I think that's just the biggest problem with it. A lot of movies from that time period just had to, like, they just felt the need to censor themselves. Like, it was too soon after what had happened there, and that's completely understandable. You know, it was a really awful tragedy. I think that you know, horror especially is it's fiction. You know what I mean? It's not real life. It shouldn't be real life. And there should be a fun about it. And I think it kind of does bum me out a little bit that Scream 3 had to be so watered down. If that was more of like a genuine horror movie, I think that movie just would have been so much better for it. Scream in Hollywood is interesting to me, and like I think it just lends itself to a sillier, like an expected, campier tone. If Scream 3 was darker, I think it would be so much better. If it actually had some more brutal kills and shit, it's like you have this really, you know, elevated backdrop, Hollywood. But then to have some really dark and gruesome kills would have been awesome. Something a little more similar to like Maxine, for instance, which in my humble opinion, a much better Hollywood film. Maxine wasn't perfect by any means, but I think that the aesthetic of that movie is what I would have wanted for something like Scream 3 personally. I love Maxine. Was a lot of fun. I again, maybe not the best of the X trilogy, but I think is it's a perfect example of, you know, the juxtaposition of that heightened setting and heightened characters, but having some really dark and contained moments throughout. It was also very giallo, which I loved. So really fun stuff there, which was great. Are there rats in your new venture? Please let there be rats. You know, there should be. I did so much with rats already, but I think we need more. I love rats. You know, I'll find a way to get rats in there if I can. I love them. I think they're wonderful creatures. And I jokingly bit off the head of one of them. Not for realsies. Don't want PETA on my ass. It was a rubber rat that I bit into. But the character was somebody who would do that, sadly. But I would love to incorporate rats into the new thing. I don't want to say what we're working on because it's going to be a big announcement. Leonardo is saying a great update on Ready or Not 2 today. Thank you so much for watching that. I greatly appreciate it. That really means a lot. Watching stuff that isn't about, you know, some of the bigger movies, it does mean quite a bit to me. So thank you for watching that, my friend. I'm excited to cover the trailer tomorrow. That's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely stop on by for some of that coverage. be talking about the Ready or Not 2 trailer, see what comes of it. I think that I talked a little bit about some of the photos we got and where I think this new sequel's going. Sounds like we're going to a country club filled with a bunch of rich people who have made deals with the devil. And I think that's going to be our new, not just one family, but multiple families. It's going to be like the aliens of the Ready or Not universe, I guess. So definitely excited to see what the sequel's all about. Getting a big trailer for it tomorrow. What's the short film you made about the evil office space? The Promotion. Yeah, that was our 48-hour project from last year. That was fun. That was good. I I had a good time making that one too. I also shaved my head for that movie, so give that one a watch as well if you have some time. that was a fun one. Jacob Wells is saying, hi, Jake, what's up? I hope when the next trailer drops on December 4th, later this week, if possible, fingers crossed, I hope so. I really hope that we get a Stu cameo for the least. But like, if Stu's the kill, like if Stu is alive, do you want to know that now though? I don't want to know that. I wouldn't want to know whatever the big reveal is. I don't want to know that. If we're going to see Stu, I want to see him on the big screen, when we get to it in February. I don't know if I want to see it now. I hope the trailer doesn't show too much, just teases some really exciting moments, hopefully, but doesn't give anything too big away. Jamie, you just subscribed to the gaming channel. I really appreciate that. I prefer him not to get poo in my bed. I won't poo in your bed if you subscribe, so I appreciate that. And I might do that if you don't subscribe. You hit me with the phone, Dick, is saying the sequel to Red Right Hand, the rat's father is Ghostface. That's so funny. I've had a few people ask about this, about will I ever make more with Red Right Hand? Probably not. I'd be open-minded to doing another Scream fan film. That's what I'll say. If somebody had I don't know, if I was working with I would want to work with other Scream fans, I think, maybe on it. I don't know. I'm not sure, but if I would do another Scream project, it would have to be another, it would be an original, probably. I don't want to do the same thing twice, where's the fun in that? I want to do something else. Leonardo is saying, I'll check out your update tomorrow on Ready or Not. Throw a shout out to Juan Pablo Romero. Hope to see him on there tomorrow. Oh shit, well, we'll have to see. We'll just have to see what I can do about that. Eli Cortez is saying, did you see Raimi and Peele are working on a new movie called Portrait of God? It's a short film on YouTube. Yes, I actually watched the short film this week. It is kick-ass, dude. It's a kick-ass short. And knowing that two masters of horror are kind of working on this one together, I think it's going to be something special. So it's a new original project that I am certainly invested in. Highly anticipating it. It ought to be something really good. And guys, if you haven't seen the short, it's like 7 minutes long. It's here on YouTube. Super quick watch and super scary. Some really nice little, it's really not jump scare oriented, but it's got some stuff like that in there, which is very cool. So give it a watch. Give it a watch. What else is going on? We got Jacob Wells is saying, I also agree to what you've been saying lately in that Stu Macher is alive in the Scream mystery, but if that's the case in story Kevin's going for, then I think this may be the last for a while. Yeah, I think that if Stu comes, here's the thing, if Stu comes back, if they actually do it, I think that the franchise is just turned into something else. And I think some people will be super excited by this, maybe others not as much. I think that if Stu comes back, he's alive, and like they kill him for good, and that was the big, it's the big nostalgia movie. Essentially, I'm sure they'll make. I'm sure of it. I think they'll make another Scream movie where they bring back more killers from the past, because it's probably that movie would make a fuck ton of money. There's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind that a movie where Stu comes back and he's alive, there's no way that wouldn't make like $300 million or something ridiculous like that. So that tells the studios, hey, people like when we bring back the old killers. I guarantee you if that movie happens, they'll make a Scream 8 where Jill comes back and she's alive somehow and she's the killer again, because Emma Roberts is still a very big star, and why the hell not, So I think that if that happens, it's going to change the franchise forever. It's going to be about something else. It's the murder mystery is in the past. We're now about just nostalgia, all up in front, and I don't know how I feel about that. There's so much media that is so reliant on nostalgia these days. It's just kind of one of those things where it's not, I don't hate nostalgia. I hate that we approach it, every single franchise approaches it in the exact same way. That's what I think is starting to get boring. That's what I think is starting to get stale. And I'm just really hoping to see people tackle nostalgia in ways that doesn't feel exactly the same as everything else in the space. And like for me, Scream is the spot for that. You know, Scream is the place to do something, to subvert expectations, do something shocking and surprising. This is a franchise that has always been doing shocks, surprises, since the very beginning. So I hope they find a way, whatever they got going on in Scream 7, to make it shocking, make it surprising, make it something the fans haven't been theorizing about for decades. That's what I'll say. Bat Super is saying we need that next trailer ASAP. We should be getting it this week. Should be getting a lot of big trailers this week. Ready or Not 2, hopefully Scream 7 would be exciting. Before we wrap this up, by the way, two big things. Erica is throwing out the link to Brahmin Synthetic, which is our new short film, won Best Film in the 48-hour film project here in Cleveland. Really happy and proud of that. Major shout out to everybody who worked on that film. Y'all rock. Give it a watch. Check it out. Tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments. If you hate it, let me know why you hate it. We're curious. We're curious your thoughts about that short. So give it a watch. Let me know your thoughts. Also, in about 30 minutes time, we'll be going live on the gaming channel GullGotha, and I'm really excited. It's going to be a very fun stream. We're playing a game that's been heavily requested for a while now, especially from our friend Jess here. It's a game called Amenti. You play as a photographer who goes into a pyramid and you get hunted down by mummies. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm probably going to get jump scared the fuck out of, and it's going to be a good time. So give it, let me know, stop on by that in about 30 minutes. It's going to be fun. Real quick, Paul is saying your use of shadows during gore scenes was a perfect way to amp up the goriness and tense mood during that short. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That was Eric's big suggestion was that. So I got to give credit to him for that. I had the thought about the fire pit, and then he was like, dude, we got to do like a big shadow thing. That would be awesome. So I'm glad you liked that. There's a big kill at the end of Brahmin Synthetic that we were very, very proud of. I will say though, Allie and my fiance, they were two of the people who were working on the film. They made a really killer spine prop that you don't really get to see in the short, though. That's my one negative thing. I'm like, oh man, I wish we could have seen that. They made this spine with all this blood and like meat on it. That was really cool. So really wish we could have gotten a better look at that. But still very proud of the scene. Probably one of my favorite shots I've ever gotten for something was that one. So very good stuff there. But anyways, I'll stop talking. Guys, thank you so much, and so much love to all of you. I really appreciate the support of the page. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me on a random Tuesday like this, talking some horror movies. We'll be talking more about some trailers dropping later in the week. I'll have an early review of Five Nights at Freddy's 2, hopefully on Thursday. Check out the stream in 30 minutes. And as always, guys, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. Bye-bye.